Hello, everyone, and welcome to session 35 of Aneria, the Shattered Realm. Thank you. I am so excited to be back here tonight with my lovely players. Hello, lovely players.
Is that what kids do now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
I see my kids do it all the time.
I thought this would be gone.
I dabbed the other day and Henry
Sterling
goes,
still does it, and he still does.
"That's so 2019, Mom." And I was like,
You say, that's okay. 2020 to 2023 doesn't exist, so we're still in 2019.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
"We're fine."
But thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, Toll the Dead, because it's all exciting stuff happening here. There's lots of deceit going on. There's lots of intrigue. And I'm just talking about the game. I'm not talking about, like,
There's a lot of
players.
attempted deceit.
Attempted, yeah. That's true. Preston's looking very dapper this evening.
Thank you.
And Scott's looking normal. Torrey.
I look like,
You look dapper.
I'm like
I'm
either
glad-
like
I'm
a,
glad that I'm
my
looking
husband
normal,
calls this
at
me
least.
a lumberjack.
I was just about to say, you're a
So,
lumberjack, and that's
thanks.
okay.
Or it's my scarecrow look, or maybe I'm just going with like
Hey,
some 90s kid
You're calling
grunge
out
a little bit.
the fall witch vibes.
Yeah.
You're calling
There you
to
go.
them.
I were a witch.
Here's some pumpkin spice.
I'm normally a witch. So I normally wear just all black.
Also, don't forget to join us on Patreon, or join our Patreon, rather. You can join us there, too. You get access to our members-only Discord, where we talk about a lot of fun stuff. And you also get access to episodes 2 days early, and some extra bonus content, like we just released a special episode. Are you mouthing while I'm talking?
No, I'm just like,
Oh, okay. I thought it was
Banner lighting, like,
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Now,
I thought you were like
whatever he does is
dub,
announcements.
like using me as a dub
We all-
for your voice.
We all need to lip sync what
No.
he's saying.
Let's
and then
try
you
it.
guys can
Let's all
later
try.
clip it.
Absolutely not.
you tell
We're
us
not doing
who's
this.
really speaking.
And of course, there was... Man, I can't do that. I can't. I'm going to have to close my eyes while we do this. Don't forget to join us on Fridays or Saturdays, where we stream sometimes, depending on. We had a really fun Baldur's Gate stream that Preston did recently. I will take an epic time.
Okay, I'm sorry. Worth it.
Oh, yeah. And I think lastly, thank you, Syrinscape, for the wonderful sound effects like... Got some new ones tonight.
What's that supposed to be?
Elephant. There's an elephant trumpeting.
I thought
They
it was
also
like
have-
a jet.
They also have an elephant roar, which is... I've never heard of an elephant roaring before, but there we
Don't
go.
remember the words.
But we are in a new place, and I grabbed a new soundboard for this evening, and they have a lot of cool, really handmade soundboards in there, so you can go ahead and check them out. They're not a sponsor, but we love to shout them out just because they allow us to use their wonderful program.
yes. Bring some nice ambiance
Yeah.
to the game.
And I think that's where we will begin.
There we go.
We are in Ha'atana. In fact, we are specifically in the Palace of Ha'atana. Does anybody remember the name of the palace? For an epic die, the name...
Yes, I know. Hatome Palace.
Hatomi Palace. That is
Yeah,
correct.
got it there.
Yep.
Not to be confused with something Plaza.
Yes, correct.
Nakatomi.
Nakatomi.
Something Plaza. I think Something Plaza is a great name for a plaza, actually. So we are here at the behest of the Sultana still. She has invited you to remain here as her guests and attend a banquet this evening. It's been very nice. She asked you some questions that were a bit uncomfortable because it might be referring to some stowaways that you have in your ship outside the city right now.
Yep. And she also has a magic drinking fountain that she can see.
Not a drinking fountain. It is a scrying pool.
It doubles as a drinking fountain. Thank you very much. All scrying pools are also drinking fountains.
If
you're brave enough.
anybody looks at her, I'm gonna roll a d20, and on a natural one, she ends up drinking out of it secretly.
Okay.
and yeah, so
It's the equivalent of when you take a drink
You met a
and
few
your nose
people?
hits the water and you're like, oh man.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
you met Pavel, a wing commander that kind of led you through the city, kind of gave you a rundown of Ha'atana. You met Thava, the
Grand Vizier.
Yeah, the Grand Vizier of the palace and basically everything that's going on around here, who confronted Fred, not confronted, but kind of just like met with Fred secretly and talked to her about her relation with a certain dark deity, not deity.
Patron?
Patron?
You had the talk.
Yes, the talk, the warlock
The
talk.
other
The
talk.
other talk.
Yeah,
the warlock
it's-
talk.
There's a lot of
War
talks.
talk.
Yes.
It's like TikTok,
It was a
but
locky
for
talkie.
warlock stuff. Actually, it'd be lock talk.
Lock talk. Yeah.
War talk is basically like war stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But lock talk is for warlocks. And I believe,
but also for locksmiths.
yes, I believe tonight we're going to begin with Bolt because we didn't get to him last time. They were being led to the library. Bolt, you are led to a grand library.
By Kadana Zephyr
Yes.
Banner, right?
Zephyr Banner.
In the Bjorn.
Yep.
He is in
No.
the Bjorn.
They.
They are being. Ah, damn it.
That's non-canon because you didn't use the right pronouns.
No!
And Kadana is the head guard who's wearing black plate with runes
Mhm.
and mana crystals.
That is correct.
She's a very
Look at all
large
those notes
and
I took.
imposing figure.
I'm very impressed.
Thank
I already gave you an epic die for
I-
the note
I don't
taking,
know.
but
I just
just know that I am very impressed. And I'm very happy about it too.
thank you.
Torrey takes notes. Fred just wings it. Whoever you are.
Yep. So you are
Those are
led
notes
to
you-
a set
yeah.
of double doors. Kadana opens them up and waves you on in. And she says, I'll be back to collect you in an hour.
Oh. You're leaving me on my own.
There's a librarian inside.
Do you know their name?
I don't come to the library. And she kind of just starts walking away.
There's probably some good books about combat. As she's like rounding a corner.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
But you do walk in, and it is this really grand private library. Plenty of books. Think Beauty and the Beast style. They have one of those ladders that rolls
Yeah.
across, which is great.
Hey, the libraries specifically around. If you have a library near you, don't use those rulers like that. You get in trouble.
By like
From
pushing on them and
experience?
hanging off of them.
There's
Like-
pictures like where it shows Belle, and she's like on the thing going, "Ah," and it has a big red X mark in it. Like, do not use this like that.
But you can use them, right?
Yeah, you can use them. You just can't
not
slide around like a
yeah.
crazy person.
Don't
Okay.
play on them. Be an adult about it.
Honestly, as a woman, there are few things I find more attractive than a really big library.
Yeah. Many leather-bound books.
Smells of rich mahogany.
Yep.
Yes.
It smells of decaying signatures.
But it isn't long before Bolt finds themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just didn't know if self or selves would be the proper
I don't know.
English
tense. That's what That's the word I was thinking of here.
grammar.
Finds themselves with. Yeah, that'll work. Face to face with a green dragonborn.
For you.
He's kind of got a thin snout, very frail looking, at least for a dragonborn, and a set of large glasses that are kind of set high up on his eyes or on his nose. And he goes, "Hi, you're the one, the newcomer that I'm supposed to let view some of the books, correct?"
If you would be so kind, yes.
Of course.
I am quite interested in the history of this place and the Sultana and her family. I'm sure it would take more than just the short couple hours I have, but if you've got any recommendations on where I could look.
I have several recommendations for you. However, you should know that your access is restricted to very common books around here.
It's fine. I'll take what I can get.
Excellent. This way.
Is there any way... well, first of all, what is your name?
Imic.
Hi, Emic. I am Bolt.
Nice to meet you, Bolt.
Is there any way to get a copy of one of these books? Perhaps one of these common history books about Haatana and maybe the area surrounding it.
Give me a persuasion check really quick.
17.
17. Oh. There are a few more common books in the library that I have extra copies of. I would be willing to part with some of them.
I would be willing to trade for maybe something a little more uncommon, if possible.
Of course.
And I'm going to go into my bag of holding.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pull out kind of like a brief overview history of Aneria.
Okay.
Like I want to say that I have brought a few of them along because we were going to a new place, and I like to share any knowledge.
You
I
want to
can.
leave them on like the little posts on the corner that you put.
Yeah, in the little like take a book, leave a book.
Yeah.
Things. Yeah.
Cute.
And I definitely would spend like some of my free time like trying to not transcribe but like copying as much as I could. And I kind of hand it to him and show him what it is.
Oh, that is
Where I'm from.
yes, that is quite
Well,
impressive.
Is where my first body was from. It's a long story, but
Right, of course. Let me. And he sets it down, and he kind of walks off, leaving you kind of standing there next to one of the tables, waiting.
yeah, whatever books are in range, I'm just gonna start like flipping through and looking at them.
Yep. So one of them is like a general history of not just Haatana but Arconis itself, and he comes back and he actually has another copy of it with him, and 3 other books, and he's going to set them down. And he goes, "These are ones that you can take with you, and I would recommend starting with
Thank
them."
you very much. Do you have names for these books by chance?
I do indeed. The first one is called 1,000 Battlefields, a historic account of every notable skirmish during Tasmatal's War, by
Would you
Nifemerer
mind sending me
Naturium.
these?
Yes. I figured that you would want to have that sent over to you, because I know I would. I will just send these to you really quickly through Discord. I don't talk to Scott very often on Discord because I hate him.
we act like we don't exist
Yep.
to each other on Discord.
The second book is called The Pen Be Mightier by Ambrose Hinpora, and that's a collection of oh my gosh, Cory. Basic grammar. A collection of great speeches of Arconian leaders. And then the third book is called What Lies Beneath, and it's by Natomi, and it is a discovery.
Seen that one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Fred's not here yet.
No. But she can be
blurts
everywhere.
it out, and everyone's like,
I've seen that one.
This is a discovery journal written by a famous explorer of her, like the most famous explorer in Arconis, actually, of her time traveling the underground waterways of Arconis itself.
Okay.
So now is
Yeah.
it canon that Fred is
I'm-
listening to the DM as they describe things to other players?
Probably, she's probably got like a voice in the back of her head that sounds a lot like the DM talking to other people.
Fascinating.
I wouldn't say that it ever gives you any information that Fred could use as meta knowledge, but it definitely like speaks to you every now and then.
She never really makes the connections.
"Thank you so much. I do not know which one I'm going to read first. Perhaps I could build a multi-station book. Hold it." And I just like walk away like muttering, like I want to build. Like
So you're going to leave rather than like sit down and read in the library?
Oh yeah, like I'm so entrenched in this like idea of like in my room I'm gonna build like a multi-station like it's like 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 read all the books at the same time.
Perfect. So you go ahead and walk out. Kadra's gonna come back, or Kadana?
Didn't you make them up?
I did, but
Kadana.
that doesn't mean that I ever remember them.
Kadana. Zephyr Banner.
Yes. Kadana's gonna come back in an hour, and you're just not gonna be there, and she's gonna have to find you, but that's okay.
Yeah, I'm at this point. I am basically just wandering.
Okay.
Nowhere in particular, but I am 4 books in hand, like like.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a. What is your passive survival? For pathfinding, basically, to see if you can find your way back to your room.
I don't.
It'd be 10 plus your survival.
10.
Mod. So it's just 10.
Straight up 10. Yeah.
Okay. That's a 50-50 shot. So you're wandering for probably about 10 to 20 minutes, and you notice that something's been following you. Despite how engrossed in your books you've been, this thing is not following you stealthily at all.
I'm going to stop and turn around. Can I see anything?
You don't see anything in the hallway except for a small dragonborn girl, or half-dragon girl, sitting on a bench with a large book held up, like she's pretending to read it.
Is that upside down? By chance?
It is
one of
definitely
those,
upside down, yes.
Too quick?
Yep.
I'm going to move. I'm going to walk, turn around, kind of act like I'm...
Yeah,
like
sure.
seem to be lost, you know. I'm gonna turn around and try to like just get up next to her and wait till she's like hiding, and then wait until she pops up and I'm just standing.
Yeah, like definitely the closer you get, like the deeper she gets into the book.
Yeah,
and then you like stop
and
and
little
she
legs are kicking on the bench because you know when you're a kid and you can't reach the ground, you gotta kick, right?
And it takes a couple minutes for her to think that you're gone, but then she like pokes her head up over it to like look where you've gone, and you're right there. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Hi.
You were following me.
I'm sorry. You're just...
It's okay.
You're weird. I mean, you're interesting.
You know, I have a friend that tells me that all the time.
Yeah.
The weird parts.
Was it one of
she
the...
usually doesn't talk about the interesting parts.
Was it one of the other two? They're weird too. I mean, interesting. Sorry. Mom says I need to learn manners a bit more.
I mean, maybe. You didn't offend me, so...
Good. I'm Aishi.
Hello, Aishi. I am Bolt.
Again, Fred just randomly. Bolt, that's an interesting name. Where'd you get it?
My maker gave it to me, actually.
My mom gave me my name.
About the same thing.
What are you reading?
And I'm going to rattle off all of the book names.
Yeah. Oh. That's a lot of history stuff.
I'm very fascinated by history.
It's okay. There's a lot of classes, and, you know, I don't like going to them all the time. And...
Well, knowledge is very important.
You sound like my teachers.
So is having fun.
What do you do for fun?
I make things.
Like I sometimes cut out pieces of paper to make friends.
Yes. Or snowflakes, perhaps.
From the north, yeah. I like snowflakes.
Normally I make mechanical contraptions. And let's see, I think I have something on me that I could show her. Here, take some astral caltrops.
Perfect. Every little girl needs astral caltrops.
Oh, actually. Okay. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take a crossbow that I have in my bag of holding.
Okay.
And I'm gonna would you like to see me make something?
Yes.
Okay, and then I can use Artificer stuff. Let's see. The right tool for the job.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes an hour of work.
Yeah.
But I want to create a small mechanical cat that you can like wind the tail up and then it'll like walk around and it'll be so we have those kind of things nowadays, but it'll be more magical or it'll move more like a cat based on Artificer stuff. But I'm going to disassemble a crossbow and use Tinker's tools and stuff and like full on build it here.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have you roll me an Arcana check to see just how magical this cat is. However, you're going to roll it at disadvantage because... Actually, you know what? Roll me a concentration check first. Because the entire hour, Aishi is going to say, what are you doing now? What is that? What are you doing now? You know, basic kid stuff.
Just a con
what kids
check?
do. I don't have any kids.
100%.
A con check.
Yeah, just give me a concentration check.
So
Concentration saving throw.
that was one of the neighbor's kids. Always came over while I was working on the truck or working on the lawnmower or something, and she was always like, "Oh, what is that? Now what are you doing? Now what are you doing?" And it was actually pretty funny because I'd be like, "Oh, I'm doing this," and she's like, "Oh, what does that do?" You know?
Yeah.
She's like 7 or
Just
something.
inquisitive, right?
And her parents come over and they're like, "Hey, I just wanted to apologize to you for our daughter." And I'm like, "Oh, I don't care. She wasn't in the way. She was just like sitting on a bucket, you know, while I was fixing the lawnmower or something."
Here, add this epic die because you've dealt with this situation before.
Okay. So con, that would be 19.
19? Yeah.
Yeah, 19 total.
So you won't be at disadvantage for this roll because
Alright.
you are able to get into your work for the full hour. She is a little surprised when you pull a weapon out of your bag, by the way, but she doesn't say anything about it.
She's like, "Uh-oh,
Yeah.
my mom warned me about this."
Yeah, it's like
Stranger nature.
you're not supposed to have weapons in the palace.
It's not a weapon. It's just a tool for killing things.
For hitting things really far away.
Yes. There's no bolt in it.
Do you have advantage on it?
Oh, no. Sorry. I was rolling for disadvantage.
No.
Okay. That's a natural 20.
That is a natural
Plus
20?
28.
All right. This, you finish it up. And I don't know if you've ever made a masterwork item before. But for some reason, like, teaching this girl at the same time as making this has created something akin to, like, a basic, like, familiar for a tinker,
okay.
right? And the cat, like, you give it that little spark of life to finish it off. The cat comes to life.
Yeah,
You don't even need to wind it
It's
up.
like my... it's like almost an infusion, but not using up one of my infusion slots.
Yeah. And you definitely don't even need to wind it up.
And I
You got rid of that, like,
Yeah.
early on. You were thinking about it, and then you're like, well, if I do it this way, then I don't
Yeah.
have to.
let's see. I want this to last.
When it turns on, did it go?
I think with a natural 20, it will last just fine.
Okay, I was gonna see if that had something like
Or what was the 90s
elemental
ones?
thing or
Was that
something
little
like
dog
that.
that would be like,
It's the cat from Lightyear.
Oh, yeah.
It's the cat from Lightyear. The little robot cat.
yeah.
Perfect.
But
Yeah,
it does.
if you-
It does like move with the stiff leg stuff.
Yeah, if you do have something to, like, infuse it with to give it more of an essence.
I do. Okay, I'm gonna take the vial of love sap out and pour it inside before like activating it and pointing it in her direction, so that it like imprints on her type
Yeah.
of thing.
Where did you get?
I've had this
That?
vial.
Oh, that's from episode.
One,
from yeah.
2.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because remember I collected like
I thought that was
the
long
jar.
gone, yeah.
Nope. I never used mine.
Yeah, so you pop the. It's not the butthole. You pop a little thing off the back, and you shove the vial in there.
I definitely program it to like constantly
not.
show it.
the battery compartment, not the bottle.
It's the bolt hole.
The
There's a
bolt
bolt
Yes.
right there.
He's so jealous that he doesn't have one.
Yeah,
he
exactly.
must put one on
They-
his creation. There!
It's just a fun game at this
I
point.
know! And I hate losing!
Yeah, so Bolt puts the finishing touches on this cat, and then they aim it at the little girl, activate it. The eyes kind of spark to life with, we'll just say the same colors of the sap, just because that's how you...
I would say it's actually the rusty red magic
Oh, okay,
that I have.
All right, then. And there is one flaw in this.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
And that flaw is that you don't really have, like, an animal spirit to put into it. So when the cat meows, it is Bolt saying
Meow.
meow.
Oh,
Meow.
Meow. Meow, meow, meow.
amazing.
And her eyes just light up and she goes, "You did this all on your own?"
Well, yes, I have built many things in my time. Not many have been as intricate or as fancy as this.
This is amazing.
It is yours.
Really?
It needs a name, though.
I'll call him
Please, please, please.
Lil Bolts.
Little bolts?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And she like picks it up and she goes, "You're like a stunted panther." They don't have cats here.
Yep. Well, now they have one.
Yeah, they have one.
Stunted panther.
And she kind of spins it around a little bit and runs around with it, and it chases after her. And she goes, "Oh, really, thank you. So I'm not supposed to take books from the library." And she glances over at the big book that she was using to hide from you. She goes, "But I do tend to lose things every now and then."
Is that so?
Yes.
Well, how about I return this for you?
Sure, if you want. I'm saying you can take it.
I understand.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
Well, have fun with little bolts,
I will. Thank you again.
and have a nice day.
You too. And she starts.
Excuse me, actually,
She goes to skip off and kind of stumbles a little bit.
do you by chance know where the guest quarters are?
Oh, you're almost there.
Very good, thank you.
She doesn't say anything. She just moves her hands in several directions, hoping that you get the actual. Yeah.
Okay. And I pick up my books, put them in bag. What book does she have?
So the book that she gives you doesn't have a title per se. However, it is.
Ancient Spellbook, Ancient Spellbook, Ancient Spellbook.
You do open it up and you start reading through it, and it's actually a book that has a history of sultans in Haatana. However, it's more about the bloody coups that have led to each new sultan, including
Even better.
Cathali's brutal campaign against her 3 brothers that led to her rise recently.
My goodness. Bloody campaigns.
Yes. All right, and then you are able to get back to your room. You two have been kind of just enjoying some time around, maybe explored the palace gardens, but you all met up after that hour's over. And Bolt walks in with a stack of books in his arms.
There.
In their arms. That's -1 point for me.
Tight.
That's
Negative
true.
1.
Actually,
today.
I'm at -2, so you are.
Oh, okay.
You're winning right now.
Oh, thanks. Okay.
I'm not doing a counter.
We are absolutely, for this episode only, Cory versus Torrey.
Perfect.
Cory
I'll
versus
put a
Torrey.
little number just right off the corner of each.
Yeah, thank you.
Blink, blink.
This is 35.
And if either of us hits -10, we die.
Wait, what?
I don't make the rules. Yeah, I do actually. I'm the DM.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I do. Okay.
Oh, so you guys are they?
Yeah.
Victor, Fred, I got some. I got some fantastic books, and I plop them down. This is the history of Haatana, and I'm gonna read kind of just
Read off all
go
of it.
each one, and then and this one. Well, it's actually a funny story. I met a young child, or rather, she followed me. Anyway, she was using this book to hide behind, and I built her a little cat, and I lost my crossbow. Anyway, this has all the history of how the Sultana came to power, all the bloody history.
Ooh.
And not in the curse word style, just actual bloody history.
Bloody,
That
not
sounds very
bloody.
interesting.
Yeah, bloody, not bloody.
Was there anything from it that could help us in our relations with them?
I can read it. I haven't read it all yet, of course. It's
It'd be good
a
to
tome.
know. Yeah, I mean, it would be good to know.
I pick it up and I'm like, she's quite strong for a child, actually. Because I'm like,
I feel like it would.
Cut to her breaking through a pillar just because she's bored.
Did you hear that?
1-inch punch, yeah.
Honestly.
I feel like it's one of those things that we might want to understand who the movers and shakers are. So if we don't get caught in some kind of hate triangle or something.
It's a good
I
idea.
prefer love triangle. And honestly, everything you just said, Bolt, is very on brand for you. I made this nerdy thing. I'm reading these nerdy books. Ooh, look at that amazing buttress.
I haven't.
I like
Oh, that's
big
a lie. I
butters
have
and
seen
cannot
some
lie.
good boxes.
Yes.
Exactly.
Oh, yes. I've tried.
Maybe I will read the
Speaking
book and
of-
I just won't tell you about it. But that would probably backfire on me, so crap. Well, if you ever see a young dragonborn child named Aishi, she has a little mechanical cat following her around, most likely.
That sounds fun.
For everybody at home, that's spelled Aeshi. But it's probably like AE, like Aether, you know? So, yeah.
Words. Well, good to hear. So what's the plan? I'm a bit worried about Liam, to be honest with you. I mean, I know we're not, like, serious or anything, but I am a little bit concerned because I do want to hunt dragons, you know, so I can earn my title. You know. Was that?
Oh, I think someone's at the door. Sorry, I was knocking on the books.
That was 3 times before they noticed. I wanted to see like how many. Yes, I knocked twice before that.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go open the door.
There is a small kobold in a kind of scullery outfit.
Oh, dang it.
And she kind of bows and she says, "Pardon my interruption. I was told to come
You're
here."
excused.
Thank you. I was told that I was to come here and lead you to our tailor. You've been invited to a very important, auspicious banquet tonight. And the Sultana wanted to make sure you were dressed for the occasion. So she's offering her personal tailor in order to provide you with the proper attire.
Like a black tie event.
I suppose. I'm not sure what a tie is.
Sorry, a black cape event.
Oh, yes, of course, yeah. Mm-hmm. But not quite that fancy.
Do we all have to wear black capes?
No. There's no coordination like that happening. For
No
this.
capes. No capes.
Is this one of those parties where we have
I've
to wear
heard
the masks?
they're quite
as well?
No, it is not a
They are
masquerade.
Quite dangerous.
No, there will be no paper faces
You
on
can
parades.
take your mask off, Victor. Your swordsman one, and you're like, yes, dang it.
As a reminder, Victor did promise to do a performance.
Dashing swordsman performance or something else.
If you're ready now, I will guide you there. But if you need some time,
Do either of you have anything you want to do before we go?
I mean, I did want to do a little seance, but that can wait till it's dark. Never
this-
mind.
Something we should be concerned about.
Let's go to the tailor.
Should I pick up some incense if we're having another seance?
Another one.
Oh.
Nothing.
We'll talk about this later.
right this way.
Oh, yes, please lead the way.
And she kind of scurries off, leading you down.
I run back in real quick and like stuff all the books
Into the bag of holding.
bag of holding. Yeah.
You're like, I could take that whole library. Or at least part of it.
Well, 500 pounds.
They wouldn't know, yeah. So she leads you down the corridors of this very expansive palace until you arrive at a seemingly random room. She opens up the doors.
Seemingly random room.
Oh, sorry, that's the other one. And she
The
goes
room
down to
of
the
requirements.
the next door over and opens up. This is the tailoring hall.
Ah.
Excuse me. And she stumbles on in. Everybody follows her in, and there's just silks and wools and all sorts of clothing material kind of strewn everywhere. And in the center of it all is a small, like, hexagonal platform where you would stand for a tailor to do their stuff. And a couple mirrors, of course. I know Fred was very interested in mirrors.
Is it just me, or does that platform look like one of those executioner's pads in a couple of towns we've been to?
It used to be. Varash Kathali, the gracious Sultana, after she won the crown from her brothers, you decided to bring that in here as a reminder.
That explains all the skulls.
Yes. Anyway.
A lot of them have like bobbins of thread sticking in them and like tape measure and like scissors and like a crack in that.
It's very dark.
And the kobold kind of clears her throat. She goes, Telkesh, there are people here, the Sultana's guests. And
I know it's coming.
From the dark ceiling, a figure drops. Or not drops, but like lowers down. It is a large golden orb with like a singular eye. And about...
Oh, I was wrong.
and about a dozen or so like long spindly arms that end in very articulate
I was
hands.
just waiting for like a drider
A drider
to come like you know.
I mean, it makes sense, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it kind of lowers itself down until it's hanging over the platform, and it goes, "Welcome, honored guests of Sultana Cathali. I am Telkesh. It is an honor to meet you all."
And you, I'm Bolt. This is Fred. This is Victor. We are of the Wayward Watch.
It's a
Bolt.
pleasure to meet you.
Fred, Victor,
What's his name again?
Sorry, watch. Telkesh. Telkesh. And then he turns to...
He's one of the little the robot dude. Not robot dudes, but the energy.
He is a Moai.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, he is. Good job recognizing that. There's an epic day for you. And he turns
he's
to...
the bad guy in 9.
Yes, you don't
The
have
eye
an
with all
evil
that.
switch, do you?
Unfortunately not.
What's your problem? It was the doll was set to evil. Yeah.
We're set to
He
Spanish.
turns to the kobold and he goes, "Thank you, Ket.
Olé.
Your services will no longer be required." And she bows and says, "I'll be outside."
Thank you.
And she just scurries off. So which one of you is first?
Well, I'm Fred. Not
Oh.
first.
I guess we haven't really decided who's born first.
Oh, probably this one over here.
But they were just reborn, so
technically.
he's they're. I was gonna say
Exactly.
first one. They are younger now.
Technically.
You're not part of the...
I mean, he can be.
Yes, you are now.
-1.
Preston.
Add another one, Scott. Editor Scott.
I don't want to do that much editing.
Okay, so yes, you are brand new.
I'll go last. That's fine.
When
I'm
were you
patient.
born?
I've got a book to read.
I am around 22 years of age, I think.
You think. Do you not know your own birthday?
It's hard to tell day from night when you're blind for several years.
True, but you know years,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's
And I'm
it's
going to
all
tell him the
hazy.
date. When were you? What was the date you were born?
I don't know.
Roll me a d20.
It wasn't as important as my christening date.
And how old are you when you are crystalline? When you're crystallized?
Crystallized. So I rolled a 6. What am I rolling
Nope.
with?
Don't worry.
Nothing?
Don't worry
Okay.
about it. Don't worry about it.
I believe I was around 11, 12.
Which one would you like? I guess.
I don't know. It's never really been important to
And
me.
what date
Like,
was that? I don't need you to actually give me a date. It's just a
Yeah, no, I'm just
Victor definitely might not know when his actual birthday is.
Well, we're gonna make one for you. So, do you tell me the date of your christening or not?
yeah, I'd give you the christening date. I think he would probably remember that. It would be at least like he would know the season and the relative year.
I would think you'd know like the exact date, maybe down to the minute, because of what
That's fair.
happened during christening.
That's fair. That's fair. When the whole thing started, but I don't know if he'd know this exact when it ended. It was
Yeah.
kind of blurred, but yeah, he could tell you.
Okay. Well, that plus however many years after.
I've never really been good at math,
We noticed.
but
Perhaps
You
one
use
of you
math.
should just volunteer
Fred's like,
to go
you
first.
use math every day. You roll for it all the time.
Exactly. I suppose I'll go first, but I don't see what's wrong with what I'm wearing.
It is definitely not conducive with a normal banquet.
What do you mean? This is normal.
That is armor.
I know. I've been wearing armor since I could hold a weapon.
Well, unfortunately, armor is not a feast sort of attire.
That doesn't seem very safe.
The guards at the banquet are the ones that keep you safe.
Fred keeps Fred safe. And sometimes Victor, and often Bolt. Do you suppose, if you make me something, could you hide some bits of armor in, like, the important parts?
Give me a persuasion check, would you?
You said it has it's like an orb with an eye in it.
It's an orb with like a glowing eye socket crystal thing, you know,
Like a round disc of glass and like a glowing
like almost like the
golden
spark
thing
is
that-
in it.
yeah.
It's a square, so it bounces in the corner every now and then. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, yes.
21.
21.
Says the word DVD.
Yes.
I suppose that would be acceptable if it was sufficiently hidden. It would be a challenge, but I am up for a challenge.
I appreciate that.
Do you need privacy
No.
from your companions, I mean?
Do I need privacy? Are you embarrassed by me?
Fred, do whatever you need
I
to.
don't, I don't see a problem. They don't have a gender. You're a guy. It's fine.
Victor is in for one heck of a shock.
Perfect. Now you can see all of the war paint in all of its glory.
Just down to the underwear should be fine.
And up to this point, I'd like to
Fred
think
doesn't
that
wear.
I like to think that again, like for him, gender's never really been something that he's ever looked really closely at,
Uh-huh.
and so this has become a thing where it's just like you're just one of the guys.
So, Fred does disrobe.
Do you see what they did?
I made the mistake, and he'll leave.
Victor. Whatever.
And then Telkesh gestures you
Victor,
up
don't
onto the
wander
platform.
too far.
And he starts like taking measurements, like basically like the dozen arms come down around, and says, "Would you like the outfit to match this war paint?"
I prefer black.
Wonderful. And he will start like pulling like threads and cloths.
You're
And
not going to make me wear a dress, are you?
is that a problem?
Well, I've never worn one. Sounds terribly uncomfortable.
I wouldn't know. I don't hear any complaints about dresses.
And I don't want to wear one.
They're quite breezy. You should probably try it. As I'm like reading
Yeah,
the book.
give yourself-
Yeah, still reading the book.
Give me an investigation check, by the way, for because I'm assuming you're reading the big tome.
Yes, I am.
Very well. I will endeavor to put you in a suit of some kind.
Fine. I guess you can add a tiny bit of a skirt.
And he starts like working again faster, like he just
Over
got an
the
idea.
pants.
Yeah. So what does Fred's outfit look like? And he does actually put in some armor too. It's not going to be like a full plate or a half plate like you've been wearing, but
Okay.
it'll be.
Perfect. It is like a jumpsuit.
Mm-hmm.
Like a fancy though.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you can envision what I'm envisioning.
I'm going to search for fancy jumpsuit and see what comes
For
up.
women, yes. Definitely all in black. I would say it's like strapless.
Okay.
So almost like a pantsuit type,
I feel like
thing.
what's,
You know
her,
what I'm saying?
what's her name wore one of those Zendaya or something at one of those
Oh, yeah.
recent reviews.
Very.
Can I add two things?
Yes.
Because you requested armor.
Yes.
First of all, she gives you, or he gives you, like a bracer.
Yes.
Like a very shiny, chromish but silverish bracer.
I like it.
Or one or two. Your choice on that.
yeah,
and
I would
then-
say on each.
Yeah, and then he also gives you. It's not quite as like it's a circlet, as in it goes around the head, but it also like comes down as like little like blades.
Yes.
Yeah, very classic kind of WoW style.
Do you work your crown into the outfit somehow?
Oh, I forgot about your crown.
I was just gonna like perfect.
Yeah,
With
yep.
the whole getup.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Okay.
And he kind of pulls away, finishing up, sweeping away all of the refuse, and then two of the hands like grab your shoulders and spin you around to face the mirrors. What do you think?
Well, she does like some squats and like
Mhm.
kicks. I suppose like this. A dress is not that bad. Would you consider this?
No,
Oh.
but it does look very good on you.
This would be the second fashion you started here.
And she's still got her war paint.
You will definitely make a stir at tonight's banquet.
Oh, good. Is that a good thing?
If you're a chef,
Do
yes.
you wish to make a stir?
Honestly, it's on brand for me, so
Then
yes.
it is a good thing.
Perfect.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
And he just kind of like, the hands start like ushering you off the platform, even though like you're kind of like still looking in the mirror, but they're just
They
like,
just like pick you up and
yeah.
Oh, by the way, I know you need to move on to these two, but Telkesh, are there mirrors in the guest rooms?
Every guest room should have a mirror in it. Yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Next,
Bolt, would you like to go?
Sure. I would like some privacy though, please.
Not a problem. I'll step outside.
I mean, we've seen you without your armor before. We know that you don't have a belly button unless you made one. I cannot
I can't remember. Did we check if he had the button when he was not alive yet? They were not alive
minus
yet.
one.
Did I say he?
No.
So here's the problem: is now that I think about not saying it, I'm going to be more prone to being saying it, and
It's
just
just,
makes it worse.
perfect. I don't like. It's great.
Fine, we'll give you some privacy.
Thank you.
I really think you both would look so much better if you wore the uniforms I collected for you, but whatever.
The later Hosen.
Yes, I do think that my legs look really great in those.
They do.
You didn't know that Victor had worn it before.
What? You've worn it? I just imagined.
Oh, I mean, no.
I imagined what
I
it
had
looked
to.
like.
I had to make sure that it fit in case we ever actually needed.
Yes, I know. You sent pictures to Lyra.
So you can have that
I'm
conversation
sure.
as Telkesh like ushers you out and closes the door. Bold.
As the door's closing, Fred, you're a girl.
Oh no, let's do this. Please.
I'm the door closed.
I mean, yeah, like the doors can close.
How
You
are
two
you
can have
supposed
the
to be my best
conversation
man
if
if
you
you're
want
a
that to
girl?
happen, and then
Does
you'll
not
come
make
out
sense.
in your outfit.
Yeah.
It's a figure speech.
I will want to work with
You can see my
Telkesh.
confusion, yes?
and be like, so
Because I
as you
figure
can
if you're wearing
see,
armor, it's like
my armor is very form-fitting. I made it that way so it's not bulky or in the way. Is there a way I could... I've got some ideas of something we could put over it. That's okay. Can you do this?
Typically, armor will not be allowed to be worn at the event.
Okay. All right, then I'll take it off.
Perfect.
And
Does that screw up the figure
no.
that you made? Okay,
No,
good.
not at all.
I was like, I started panicking a little bit. They're like,
No,
I know
was
Scott
just-
spent some time on this.
No, that was just more of a.
Mhm.
Bull doesn't like being without the armor
Yeah.
very often, especially now in a
New
new,
body.
maybe more vulnerable body. Don't know yet.
Your construction is intriguing.
Yes, I'm actually very new to this body. I was recently, or my soul was recently pulled into it. My past one was made out of metal and other bits, much like yours.
This
Different
is-
shape, but
This is not my body. This is just a vessel that I am using.
oh, you were like, and I'm gonna say,
What's the guy's name? Or Hafis.
oh, you're like my friend Hafis.
You know another Moai.
I do, yes. He helps us. He's helped me with some workings on my ship and keeps things. He's kind of helps me with maintenance.
A Moai that chooses to follow you is a Moai companion for life,
I have a very long life, so
as do we. It will be interesting to see which of you expires first. He says as he pulls out like scissors and cuts like some cloth while staring at you.
yeah, all that.
Edward Scissorhands.
Yep.
Like one arm is just nothing but like a giant seam ripper. So this is what I came up with for Bull.
Oh, my word.
So
Nice.
dapper.
Yeah. And
I
so
love it.
I'm including
I love the
the
Rebel shirt.
epaulets as well.
Okay.
So I don't know if you can see it.
We'll put a rotation up as a video,
Yeah,
Scott. So
yeah,
don't worry about that.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
I like it.
amazing.
That's
So the
awesome.
doors swing back open.
yep, and I will come out and strike a pose.
Wow, it cleans up nice.
Absolutely.
Both of you, like, wow, this
You
is
said
minus
he
one.
again.
they both look nice.
It's just hard to look at Scott and say they. That's the problem.
And that's fine. That's that's.
I'm impressed.
Thank you.
And then the four of the sets of
Do you
hands
like
hit the.
And I'm like playing with the tassels on the epaulet. Like this is one of my favorite things.
Don't do that all night. That's distracting.
Right.
She's gonna walk up next to you the whole time and just be like,
I could
Actually,
do it.
you're right.
Right.
this is quite.
It's not as soft as a Rakshasa's fur, but it's pretty close.
I've never met one.
They're very soft,
We'll have to introduce you.
and they have thumbs on the bottom of their hands to the top.
Nice.
It's a
So
little strange.
four of the arms hold
Hold
onto
you.
the edge, and Telkesh leans out and goes, "Victor, it is your turn," and then comes back in.
Oh,
Thank
right.
you.
I was supposed to send you.
Do I have to leave?
It doesn't matter. There's no shocks now.
I mean,
And Victor wears underwear, so he, I assume.
So he'll go in and he'll be like, I'm really not that much into clothes, but I had this idea,
Go
and I
on.
wonder if you could pull it off.
You start taking off your clothes, and Fred goes, "You're a male?"
So I was thinking maybe a dragonborn crafted ensemble for an heir Genasi would meld the grandeur of the skies with the earthly practicality of skilled craftsmanship, right? Are you with me?
I'm with you so far.
Excellent. So, the primary garment I think would be a tunic or robe tailored from lustrous sky blue silk. I know, I wear black all the time. Blue? It'd be a good change.
Go on.
The fabric would evoke the boundless heavens. Accentuating the silk, there will be embroidery of gold and silver thread. Maybe a little bit of white in there for the white dragons. Or the cultural, whatever, something that's nearby. And in that same place, perhaps maybe having some draconic runes. Each rune that represents sky and air and stuff. Yeah?
Do you wish these runes to be magical, or do you wish
No,
them
just-
to be?
Just decoration, makes me feel cool.
That was his response to all of your stuff. He's like,
So,
sure.
my father is actually a fire genasi, so it could be cool. Stay with me. If I had one that was a fire, and when I touch it, fake fire comes off my shoulders. Not real fire. I don't want to die. You think we could pull it?
Interesting.
this is reminding me of a book I once
Yes,
read.
Mockingbird.
Yes.
Fred, I'm so proud of you. You've read a book.
I mean, read a book. I saw the movie and told everyone I read it. Okay?
Well, I don't know what a movie is. But
No.
I like that you've read a book.
You're just gonna focus on that part.
Yes.
But for the final touches, I figured we could have maybe a belt or a sash of tightly woven linen. It could cinch the waist, adorned with an intricate clasp, maybe something that the local craftsmen might recognize as a conversation piece, right? But as I said, I'm not really into clothes or anything. But
Right. This will take a little bit.
can I help with anything, or just
Just-
stand still?
Stand still.
I'll T-pose.
Yeah. And the arms full on pick you up and put you on the pedestal.
Those
And
are interesting undergarments you're wearing.
It's like the sumo, whatever, the diaper, sumo diaper, or whatever.
it definitely does not fit the outfit, but that's okay.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah, so he's gonna go ahead and get to work. That's quite the outfit that you've collected there. And he does find he does bring down a cinch on the sash.
Mm-hmm.
That's we'll say it's like an Ouroboros, but it's a dragon.
Okay.
An amphitheater.
Okay.
So like a winged serpent.
Got it.
And we'll say that he also he embroiders the red runes up the left side, and then like the sky blue ones up the right.
Okay.
And he finishes it by like pressing his fingers to the top runes, and they start glowing. And he goes, "This will take a substantial amount of mana to enchant this.
I can
But-
give up some of my performance points if the DM will allow it.
You are guests, and I was told to give you whatever you needed."
Well, if that's the case.
Well,
just kidding.
well, this won't harm you, will it?
No. It
Well,
will.
mana, we know it is kind of rare.
It will make me weak for a time, but some infusions from some mana crystals will not do.
And who is in charge of the mana crystals here? Is it the Sultana?
She is the one who divvies out the mana crystals. Yes.
And how are they divvied out? Quite evenly, I hope.
Typically, she works with her financial advisor, financial vizier, we'll say, because they're all viziers here, to coordinate the
CFP,
trade.
Yes.
As far as it goes, mana crystals are not typically needed by the masses.
Interesting.
I do not get involved in politics.
Oh, I'm just asking questions. I'm not being contrary. I'm just curious.
And then, so he finishes the suit off, which I'm sure we've got a nice rotation for that as well. We'll see, maybe.
Okay, this was
Yep.
going.
And he points to the left lapel, and he says, "This one has been enchanted to increase your speed." And the one on the right, the lower runes will create the effects of fire without the heat. The higher rune will provide you with a mantle of flame for a time.
I like this. This is pretty cool. You outdid yourself.
Okay. In exchange for this new fine suit that has magical properties, that I'm assuming Victor's going to wear more than just once, let's give up your boots of speed. But we're rolling the boots of speed into that right lapel.
Yep, that sounds good.
Does that sound fair enough?
Fair enough.
Okay. And I'll even free up an attunement slot for you. This one won't require attunement. Because I'm generous. And then yours is going to be... What is a
Makes
good
me
medium?
nervous when
Yours is
it's
going to be
generous.
breastplate. Armor for yours, by the way. Just so you know when you're wearing it what your AC is going to be.
Because I have breasts, I understand.
Yes, that is correct. That is the only reason. That was certainly a challenge. Thank you all for providing such entertainment.
You
Now-
are fine craftsmen.
Thank you.
Is it common to leave a tip?
Not really. I do not do work for public, so no,
Do you have use for money?
not really. I don't leave my area
Do you
here.
have any mana crystals that might be able to help with this?
Actually, do we?
I have a mana crystal.
I know Fred does. I don't know
I don't think I
if
grabbed one. I
anybody
don't
else
think I
has
did.
one. It is completely fine. It is my duty and my pleasure.
Well, we hope to see you there. There will be a big performance, and I will be sure to let everyone know where I got my...
I cannot
Fabulous
leave this
attire.
room.
That is very sad.
You are trapped here.
No, this vessel cannot leave this room. And Moai can exist for a time outside of a vessel, but typically we need to be in a containment jar of some sort.
Now, you mentioned that Moai is a companion for life.
Correct.
Who are you a companion to?
The palace.
Not a particular person.
No.
Not
I
the
s-
Sultana.
Whoever is Sultan or Sultana at the time.
Is this enjoyable for you?
Yes, very much so.
All right. If you say... Now, blink one... can you tell if he blinks?
He blinks.
It's just like the glowing, like...
Blink once if you want us to save you and break you out of here. Blink twice if you're actually fine. Blink 3 times if
Thank you
you're fine.
all very much. And he ushers you all out with his many arms and closes the doors behind. Um,
I think he was not fine.
Agreed.
We'll have to. Maybe he's fine.
now that you have your fancy suits, you'll probably want to take them off because you still got several hours until it's time to get into it. Is there anything that anybody wants to do around the city? You're not confined to the palace or anything like that.
I'd like to think that as we're walking down,
What's
There's
the scale conversion today?
there's a slow motion montage as Suit and Tie by Justin Timberlake starts playing.
Mhm.
And Fred's just kind of like singing it at like kind of ad lib, and we're just kind of like humming along with it.
Yes.
We lost our bard, so you're taking up the role.
She's not very good though, and that's why she's not actually a bard.
447.44. So 447 gold for that's the current scale price, which I think they're holding steady from last time.
Yes, and initially it was 450.
Yep.
Yeah, last time it was 447 as well.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, so you've got 4 hours. Anybody want to visit the city, do anything else, or are we just kind of...
I'm going to take some time and read the book.
Okay.
I did the investigation check and I got the one you asked me.
Yes.
I got a 19.
19. What you glean from the book, the important information that would be important to know, was that nobody in the Alloy Alliance was backing Varash Cathali to win this coup.
Right.
They had all put their money on her brothers, which are triplets, by the way. The three brothers are the triplets. Basically to try and get them into power because they were a more favorable ruler or set of rulers, or whichever one of them. They were going to rule together, so it would make them a lot more malleable.
She's a little bit more evil, essentially, or...
I wouldn't say that she's more evil. It's just that her views don't align with what the Alloy Alliance wants.
Hence the communing with the white dragon.
The Silene Peaks, And that's been a problem for a while now. Like, you can tell, like, their influence is in this book. Like, there's more talk about, like, them providing aid to one side or another during conflicts. Not always successfully. But there is definitely, like, a clear pattern that keeps rising. And the Alloy Alliance has put their money on the non-Silene loyal, side of the family.
Okay.
And failed this time.
Okay.
So there's a lot of, like, butting head animosity going on there because that specific coup did not go their way.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Coup d'etat, coup d'etat, coup d'etat.
Yeah. So you spend the rest of your evening reading through the 4 books. You do manage to set up your makeshift thing. And, I mean, you could spend it all in your suit and just, like, you just look fancy as you're reading.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I'm just a fancy reader.
A fancy reader.
With my fancy readers.
Fred, what about you?
Fred is going to go to her room.
Mm-hmm.
Victor,
Yes.
do you want to do something that Bolt probably wouldn't want us to do?
How do you even get chills?
Never had chills before.
Well,
Interesting.
the other night. Let's go.
Okay.
Okay.
So she'll take him to her room.
Mm-hmm. I'm assuming you're back in your typical gear.
Yes. And is there like a washroom?
Yeah, there's
That's
like
like an ensuite.
Yeah.
And there's a mirror in there, I assume.
Yes, there absolutely is. We'll say it's a full mirror.
Perfect. So, Sava, remember her, the Grand Vizier, whatever.
Yeah.
She had like a little talk with me, and you know that being who gave me some extra little powers in exchange for letting it out of the beacon. Do you
Yeah,
remember
I
this?
remember.
Didn't we talked about this?
I think you've told them.
You mentioned like a shadowy figure, but I don't think you.
Yeah, I don't think you've
okay.
really told them that part of the story.
I remember you saying something about you encountered something on the way out.
Yes, about that. I might have made a deal with someone unsavory.
That's par for the course.
Oh, is it?
I don't know what that means. I've never been golfing.
Don't know what golfing is.
Yes.
Hasman Day had a really big golfing scene.
There you go.
And they still do, but it's just from one island to another now. It's mini
Wow.
golfing now.
Gravity's a little wonky.
I'm the
This-
last person to judge.
Oh, that's why we didn't bring bolts.
Calypso judgy.
No, I just know that they would be disappointed
Oh,
in us.
they wouldn't
So-
be mad. You're right.
Yes. Notice how we both said they.
I'm very proud of both of you.
Thank you.
Mine or plus 1 point to
See what
each.
happens when I don't think about it, but as soon as I'm
Get
like,
plus one.
don't say this.
So, I don't know who they are, what they are, but Thava seems to think they might use their control over me for that. And I
Okay.
don't know who they are, quite frankly. You know, what I really wish, we used to have this book as part of the Arcanum that, like, helped us keep track of all the bounties we had out, and it was so
The
easy.
big book of. I have one. I'll get it out.
What?
Yep.
I don't know if it still works, but it's been a while. But yes, I have it.
Let's look through it.
It's the 3-year-old one, except for they have been on their own, right?
Go ahead and give me an investigation check. Let's see if you can find
I will aid her.
this creature.
This is the equivalent. This is like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this
well,
your like
let's see.
Tinder
With
Tinder for
advantage,
monsters?
this is being aided.
Who do we want to kill
Swipe left,
next?
swipe left.
What am I doing?
Investigation.
Investigation.
Does she have
21.
21? Okay. So you're looking through the various stuff, and you
It's like very shadowy.
flip to a page,
see
and
Spindly
I
arms
see
and legs.
Bagman. I see
yeah, there is
Slender
definitely a
Man, I
Bagman.
Siren Head. Freddy. Who else is in
Eve,
here?
who's she?
She's got the bounty on her head. Watch out.
Still, nobody cleared that up. I guess because the Arcanum fell. Like this
Yep.
is basically
Yep.
static now. Yeah. Yeah. So among them, you flip to a page, and there is just there's no picture with it. It's just a silhouette, and it just says unknown shadowy creature wanted for, and it lists like 3 different village massacres and 2 different like instances of Arcanum guards being found completely drained of life. And then of course at the bottom it says extreme caution recommended. Yeah.
Well, this is, most of the stuff in here is a little outdated, but it seems they had at least a little bit on them. It.
I don't know. Does it, like, list the details about the massacres? Like, would Fred recognize what those massacres were?
Give me a history check. We'll see if Fred knows any of these.
And are there any
That's a 2.
brave elves in there?
No. Plus 4. 6.
Nope. Nope, there are no brave elves in there.
I don't... I mean, this looks like it. I wish I knew its name. But, okay. Hear me out.
You've seen it before with your mind, yes? You know what it looks like?
I mean, I saw it with my own eyes.
Let's try something. I'm gonna pull out the chalice. So I want you in your mind. Focus on that person.
Oh, this is
I
exactly what I
stopped
was going to
reading.
do with the mirror.
Like
Only-
the chill down your spine is like just like
The great,
ripping it down.
the great part about this is, unlike a Ouija board, it actually sends, and you can tell if it sends. I guess I don't know.
Should have got a second cape.
Perfect.
But you have to focus on them and not the entire Get Yankee race. Got me in trouble last time.
Oh dear. And so once before I do this,
Yes.
once I get them in my mind, what do I do? Do I send it?
Oh,
do I
you're right,
say
you-
something or?
If I remember correctly, that I've been writing things and throwing them in their goblet of fire style, but I think you just speak into it.
Yeah, it's pretty much just
Yeah.
speaking into it. Yeah.
So you just speak the words into it. I like to write it down because sometimes I don't know really what to say, so I read it out loud, throw it in, and then afterwards I have to throw the paper away. But
It's just sitting at the bottom of the chalice.
then
That's the speaking into it. You're reading from the paper in the chalice.
then you just trace your fingers on the runic magic around the rim, and pop, 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 it sends it off.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'm so excited.
It's one way though. They won't respond unless they have the ability to respond, but at least they'll know you're looking for them.
Okay. What should I say?
We want to cordially invite you to a party tonight, and there will be a sleepover afterwards.
I really want to do that. Hang on.
Fred pulls out a dice.
Oh boy.
I mean, now if you need to make a decision in life, just roll a dice for it.
It's true.
Do you really think that's a good idea?
Probably not.
Oh.
I mean, if it came from me, probably not. But
I-
maybe you could say, "Hey there, I just needed to get some clarifications on the contract."
It's like 2 a.m. in Aneria. Hey, you up?
You up?
Hey, you up?
Booty call. My favorite calls.
I just need to know, something along those lines. Maybe to not anger them, make them feel like, because I feel like sometimes big bag entities like to monologue, and they feel like everyone should know who they are, and when you don't, they try to kill you.
Agreed. Okay.
So,
So I should stroke its ego a little bit.
yes,
Do you think?
yes.
And probably not invite it to join us for the party tonight.
At least invite it in the door, so if it's a vampire, it can get there. If not, they won't be able to come in the door.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I hear that's not actually true, but we can continue with that.
Yes.
It depends on the vampire lore.
Okay, I think I know what I'm going to say.
All right.
Okay, I'm thinking of
Hold
it
on,
in my
hold
mind.
on. I have some incense here
I
somewhere.
mean, it doesn't have a face. We're totally like in the bathroom, and she's like turned out the lights.
Okay, I've got 4.
You just lit a roll of toilet paper on fire.
And it's sitting in front of the mirror, and like you got the little incense burning.
You know, when I was a girl, my brothers told me that if I went to the bathroom and then said a certain name 3 times,
Beetlejuice?
turned around. No.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, we did talk about Beetlejuice last time.
Bloody Harry.
Bloody Harry, that's him.
He's like scary guy, scary
Yes.
Larry.
Yes.
Scary
Yes.
Terry.
Well,
Terry.
you could either say Bloody Harry or Scary Larry, whatever you
Oh,
said.
okay.
But if you said
How many times have you guys said that so far? In front of this mirror?
it has to be 3 times consecutively, and then you turn around and then they appear to you in the mirror.
We should try that afterwards.
We should.
Maybe. How do you say it with his name? Unknown entity.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. If I think of them, then maybe they will share their name with us, and then we can do that. Or I'll tell it that it can meet us in the mirror.
Oh, I like this.
Let's try. Okay, I'm thinking of it. It doesn't have a face.
Wait, last time you met it, it didn't like melt your face, like opening an Ark of the Covenant kind of thing, or.
I think I've always looked like this. So
It would be the
okay, all right, go ahead.
It would be it'd be in the vault of Morai, right?
The Ark of the Morai?
The Ark of the Morai.
yes, I've never heard of the Ark of the Morai, but Indiana Jones. Okay, here we go.
That's America's whip.
She's going to envision everything about this being.
Okay.
Victor's gonna be looking at the book, like intently, just to like.
Yes. Victor, I think it's going to work.
This. There's no way this could go wrong.
Hello.
That's it.
Said-
Yep.
Hold on, wait. I forgot to tell you, there's only so many per day, so.
New goblet, who
message.
this?
we got.
She did not do that.
I think we only have like 2 more charges if you go. So
Okay. Here we go.
let me make sure.
There's 3 charges on it right now.
Okay.
I don't think I've used it since I recharged it last.
Yeah.
So I think we're okay.
Oh, powerful being. It is your humble servant,
Wait, yeah, you. No, you.
Winifred
just you.
Rosacii, Bloodbane, surname pending. And I come before you seeking guidance and also wondering how I might connect with you. My friend and I are awaiting your response in my bathroom. Feel free to communicate with us through this mirror. I really hope it works. Okay, zing.
Okay. You sit there for about 5 or 10 minutes, and nothing's really happening.
Fred? Victor? are you okay?
I'm sick! Don't come in here!
Is there any windows nearby?
Yeah,
You would open the window and you'd be like grabbing like a rug or something, just woof, 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 trying to get all the smoke out.
Is there anything I can do to help?
I have the poops! Please don't come in here!
I could see if I could find some
You wouldn't understand,
prune
you don't have a
juice.
bottle.
I hear that's good at helping with that situation.
Prune juice? No, I need something. Never mind.
Rock, I got some meat stead. That'll work. Okay. If you need anything, please let me know.
I will.
I'm gonna leave, and then I'll leave.
Oh, I feel so bad lying to them, but they wouldn't understand, right?
All right.
You start lighting, and you hit about the 4th candle, and they all blow out. And everything.
Sorry, I opened the door really fast.
Victor would like straight up just like freeze, hair on the back of his neck, just like don't move. Like
The mirror.
Everything starts getting a little cold, but not too cold.
Yep, I failed my con save, so looking at the mirror.
You guys start getting the icy breath.
Yes.
Let's see. I'm trying to find the good music.
Like I've started playing Phasmo. Are you there? How old are you? Should we leave? Have you played that before?
No.
It's basically
Phasmophobia.
it's Phasmophobia. It's basically a ghost hunting game, and you go in,
that's horrible.
and like you have a spirit box that sometimes it'll respond to you. So like you'll say in your microphone into the game, "Are you there?" And then like the lights will flicker, and I'll be like, "Yes." And you'll answer.
That's so creepy.
Yeah.
But if you're too gung ho about it, the ghost
gets
will
mad.
appear and
Haunts
kill
you.
you, basically. Yeah.
All the doors close in the building, and the lights shut off, and you have to run. And it's
Would
like,
you consider this too gung ho? Just curious. Okay,
no, I
calm down, Victor.
so-
we're fine.
It's pretty dark in here. The shutters that were open slam shut again. And you look over into the mirror, and for a moment you just see your reflection. But it seems to like darken a little bit. Like it's pretty dark in the room, so it's already just kind of a silhouette. And then it turns its head on its own and starts like elongating and kind of getting closer and closer to the mirror. And as it does, the frame, like the wooden frame around the mirror, starts rotting and going black. And in fact, the area along the wall as well starts like decaying before your eyes.
Did I make a mistake?
And the creature,
And I assume, is this something that, like, at this point, it's dark enough? I think I have dark vision. Would I be able to see any of this, or at this point, are you giving a description to her, and I just need to be quiet?
no, this is, you can see this as well.
Okay.
Yep.
Just want to know if I need to react.
In fact, to begin with, let's go ahead and have you both roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Yes.
You need to hit the button
15.
and start slowly dimming all the lights over the next 5 minutes.
Right.
21.
21 is exactly what you need. So you fail. And you're going to take a little bit of damage here.
Okay.
Just a tiny bit of damage.
Why
Victor's...
am I not at full HP?
I don't know. You should be at full HP.
Victor's not making eye contact with the mirror yet. He starts seeing this happening, and he looks over to Fred like,
I would say
"We're
that,
don't know."
yeah, I think that you probably have seen it, but it's not affecting you nearly as much.
Okay.
Almost as if something else is protecting you.
I don't know what's happening here. Is this the part where I bring out the holy water and say the power of both compels you?
26 necrotic
Hell,
damage,
that's
please.
Holy
As
shit.
you feel this thing start like
Drafts.
draining like your own life force away, it feels like.
I really don't feel good now.
And
You've set that to bolt.
the thing like presses its hands And the fingers, like, it's your hands for a moment, and then the fingers just start, like, growing and like, curving outward. And you hear a whispering voice that says, "You called to me?"
Yes. Apologies.
You wish to serve?
Maybe?
To whom does she serve? And he's gonna keep trying to light something so he can get. That doesn't have a lighter.
We will have none of that. And one of the hands is going to curve down, and a single finger is going to point at you. And I need you to make me another saving throw.
That's a 10.
This is a wisdom saving throw.
10 plus wisdom. I have a plus. Let's say 10 wisdom. It's plus 5.
And I sure hope those guys
15.
are doing all right.
So that's not enough. Take 30 necrotic damage, and you are frightened.
Victor jumps out the window.
And while you are frightened this way, you're also paralyzed. So
Paralyzed,
you are
yeah.
just, you kind of just freeze up in fear as you feel basically this thing sapping your energy.
Paralyzed.
And then the shadow turns back to you and says, "What do you wish?"
I wish to know your name.
In exchange?
What do you wish in exchange?
Souls. 3.
Of my choosing?
Any.
Very well.
And the hand rears back and slams against the glass and kind of like shakes it. And 3 tiny opals drop onto the ground and kind of clatter. Fill. Then you shall have my name.
Okay.
And then everything pops back in, and the room looks completely normal. Victor, you come out of your stupor. Both of you are a little bit drained, and all the candles light back up.
Did you just see that? Let's not do that again.
I think I'm feeling something called guilt. I think I need
Such
to...
a new feeling.
It hurts the stomach just as much as the poops.
Guilt.
Victor, I think I need to tell Bolt.
I think you're right.
He's going to be so mad. He'll never let us do anything now.
They.
Twice.
That was twice?
Yeah.
Well, good luck telling him. I'm gonna jump out the window.
Yeah, that's another -1.
I'm gonna go climb out the window and like try and find my way into the building another way.
I mean, you have your flying broom. You can get back into your own room.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, if you weren't paralyzed, you're like, good luck, friend.
So while you go to talk to Bolt, we'll get to that in a moment because I want to follow Victor for a second here. Victor finds his way into his room. You stumble into it, unsummon Persinger, and you hear, "Oh my, you're looking rather drained lately, Victor. Do you need a candy or something?"
A candy?
Do I see the source of the voice, or is it like behind me? Kind of.
It is technically behind you, even though you just stepped foot in the room.
It's the idea. You turn around, look out the window, turn back around, and there's that. Like, ah!
Yeah.
He's gonna turn and go. So I can see what's behind him.
You know who this is. This is the Baba Yaga.
Hello, Baba
A
Yaga.
candy, like Werther's.
Yeah, he has that like
never
ending
ending
He just puts it back in the wrapper and like keeps.
Yeah, hers are called Withers.
Withers.
Withers. Yeah, Withers the.
It is so good to see you. How have you been?
I I am good. I am well.
Interesting,
and
because I've been feeling like maybe you haven't been that well lately. Recently, have you been speaking with anybody else?
I speak with a lot of people.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, Victor.
Okay.
Don't play coy with me.
Yeah, there was this big entity, scared the crap out of me. But
Literally.
we were trying to do a seance. It sounds like Fred might be mixed up in something. Seemed like it was really agitated that we called
Yes.
it.
Do not talk to that thing again.
Is it one of yours?
No. But it is something that I have to deal with if it's in your vicinity. And I don't want to do that, Victor.
I don't either.
Now I want to see a fight between these things.
It was had the story of the cat and the curiosity and how the cat burned the house down and
It's
the
a very
entire
good
village
story,
died. Yes.
Absolutely.
Same story. We were a little bit curious.
And you got burned.
Yes,
Not
yes.
literally, but
I mean, I did burn my fingers on the matches, but nothing that won't heal. But my apologies. Fred seems to be mixed up with it.
so long as you don't get mixed up with it, we'll be fine.
Okay. That's
Now.
good to know.
I cannot manifest myself to you forever, so I need you to be quiet and listen for a moment, okay? Granny's about to speak.
She also paralyzes you.
Thank you. I am here because it is time for your first official tasks as my Red Dawn. I'm very excited about it.
I did that.
You can... Victor, you can respond a little bit. Just don't
Oh, okay.
do your normal verboseness.
My apologies.
I have 3 things for you, because everything that happens in 3s, because that's the best. I have a gift for you to give. I have a warning for you to deliver. And I have a task that will take you a little bit longer. Which would you like to start with?
Well, I always do love a good warning to people. I'm gonna save that one for last because that's my favorite.
I will cut off your hand.
Maybe the gift to give.
Of course. And she reaches into her ragged robes and she pulls out a...
Is it the gift of death?
No. She pulls out a simple wooden marionette doll of an elf that has no strings on it. Yeah. And she hands it over and she says, "There is a little girl in this castle that doesn't have any friends, and I wish to provide aid as such a lovely, loving woman that I am. Deliver that to her for me and see that she accepts the gift. Or not. It's up to her, but I think she'll be more than happy with it."
Seems innocent enough. And he's at this point
From the
going to,
balcony.
he's going to think,
Yeah,
he's going to
totally
think back,
innocent.
can Faye gift something and have it accepted by extension and still have an enforced contract? He rolled a 2, he has no idea.
No
so
idea,
he's like,
yep.
Seems fair.
This is from all your previous contract knowledge, correct?
Next task,
Yes.
then,
Task?
since
Yes.
we're saving the message for last.
Yes.
And she holds out her hand and she pulls like 3 very long splinters from 3 different fingers. And she hands them over to you. And they're probably about, I'd say, about 3 inches long as far as splinters go. They're not covered in blood or anything, actually. So she just pulls them from her fingers, but there's no blood on them. Those need to be driven into 3 points here on Arconis. I would prefer if you plant these as far apart as possible, but
Okay.
at least a mile apart should do.
Plant them at least
Oh, sorry, 10 miles. She said
10
10
miles apart. Okay. And how deep in the ground should I plant them?
They just need to be driven into something. Anything.
People?
Nothing mobile.
Okay. Okay.
Dead
Just
people
to
aren't
be safe.
mobile.
What's happening right now?
In inorganic material.
Yes. And then
I run to your room. Fred, did you just get a weird chill as well?
Yes.
The Baba Yaga can summon. We're all like, ugh.
Plenty of weird chills.
and the warning.
Yes.
And she reaches into the tangle of her hair and she pulls out it's like a shadow box almost, and she hands it to you, and it has a dead lizard pinned into it,
You.
and on either side is a large butterfly wing on either side, like pinned, like a like your typical collector would be. There is a creature here that I do not wish ever to come to Aneria.
Old flame?
Not really. Her name is Razorwind,
Yikes.
and this is just a part of the message, but you need to make sure that she never wants to come to Aneria at all. Understood?
Understood. Can I make a history check to see if I remember the name of the dragon that we looked at for when they shot into the sky in season... Is that season 1? I think it was season 1. Where it was the tale about the... one of the paragons shot in the sky, and then there's the big dragon, and it tricked them, took off with their special bow.
Yeah.
Is that...
I'll go ahead and just give that to you. It's not that dragon.
Not that dragon.
No.
Okay. That's just... Alright. So Razorwind.
And how will I know them by?
They should be here in the palace.
That is convenient.
Yes. That's why I'm here.
I applaud you.
Thank you.
She's the Fates from Hercules. I love it.
All three in one.
I love it.
Indoor plumbing. It's gonna be big.
Now,
Gotta be bad.
that is everything that I have for you so far. You're doing a wonderful job. Keep it up.
Oh,
Also,
thank you.
my condolences on the passing of your friends.
Oh, yes.
Still pretty recent. That was Preston, not Victor.
Yep.
I'm like, okay,
I like the idea that
Friends,
Victor
friends,
probably thought, like,
friends.
crap, did they die while I was in the room? Like,
that's
did Baba Yaga
in my
kill
mind,
them?
I was like,
Yeah.
excuse me?
I thank you. They will be missed. But Zolos be damned, and
The light and the thunder up.
We're
Oh,
not
yes.
supposed to say Zolos. Even Fred remembers that.
hey,
That's a way that we can inadvertently signal one another.
Ah, I like it.
Someone said
I like it. Just say Zolos, and then
It's like ringing a doorbell.
I'm giving you an epic die for this. That is
Yes.
a hilarious, clever way to
Game the system.
game the system.
Until Zolos appears and then we all die.
Yep.
But
Just not 3 times in a mirror and then spin around.
well, Victor's learned his lesson there. He's
Yeah.
gonna believe it every time now.
I will be honored to do these things for you.
And she kind of like reaches up and like rubs your cheeks a little bit, like a grandma does. She's like, my beautiful red dawn.
Oh, I have to show you.
I have something new. And he's gonna wait right there. He's gonna run to the other room. He's gonna change into the other clothes, and he's gonna come out and say,
It's like showing his mom.
What do you think of this?
I love it, Victor. It's absolutely fabulous.
it's pretty cool, right? And he comes close and doesn't think about the fact that it's fire, and it doesn't hurt him. Does it hurt her?
It does not hurt
Okay.
her. Yep.
So he'll just kind of like,
It's real fire and everything. My bed's on fire. Oh no!
and he'll start to.
Well, good luck with that. I have other things to attend to, and I can no longer be... And she just vanishes.
So for Victor, at that point, it's like, Bolt, Fred, get the bucket of water.
Speaking of which, let's move on over to Bolt and Fred as Fred basically knocks on Bolt's door.
Balls.
Well, he's not in, or they're not in, damn it.
Hello? Did someone knock on the door?
It's me. May I come in?
Of course.
Do
like
you
to think-
want to come in?
I like to think that you're like doing that, like the teen kid when they like
Yes.
drag their feet
She'll
on the
just
ground.
go and,
just
like-
go,
Flop on Bolt's bed and cover her eyes with her arms.
Are you still having the poops?
Sorry.
Got her.
I forgot about that. That's awesome.
It makes me nearly choke to death.
Well played. Well played.
No. I have to tell you something, and I think you'll going to be mad at me. And I don't like that. Normally, I don't mind disappointing people, especially my father, but I actually care what you think about me.
Well, it sounds important. How about I promise not to get mad at you?
Really?
Really.
Okay.
More disappointed.
I thought of it, but I'm not going to do that. That's me.
Okay, I'm just gonna spit it out. Victor and I sent a message to probably a really bad being that I might be in cahoots with unwittingly, and it came to us in the bathroom, and that's why I told you I had the poops, is because I didn't want you to come in there. And it visited us, and I did not feel very good then because it really kind of hurt me. But it was not the poops, it was more like it was sucking the life out of me. Not very comfortable, kind of like a dementor, honestly. And then, next thing I know, it freezes Victor. He's frightened, completely fearful, and I ask it, what's its name? And it tells me, do you wish to serve me? And I said, well, I don't know, maybe. And then it said, I'll give you my name if you take 3 souls for me. And I said, can they be any souls? And it said, whatever, that's fine, kind of. I think that's what it said. That was my understanding. And
That's
so,
totally fine.
it's like, totally fine.
It flips its shadows.
Yep.
Yes, and so then it dropped these 3 rocks. See, here they are, and I have to fill it with souls, and if I do, then I know its name. But the reason I want to know its name is because Thava came and spoke with me and said that she has some being that she made an agreement with that's kind of controlling her life, and she only just barely got a bit of control back. And I'm worried that this being is going to do that same thing to me, and so that's why I want to know its name, so I know what I'm up against. And are you mad?
No, I'm actually quite confused. Let's go back a little bit. So you and Victor sent a message to something?
Oh, remember how I told you that night at the beacon?
We talked at the beacon. I remember that.
No. I might have let something out of a cage, and then I followed it out of the beacon, and it might have given me a little bit of extra power. I think I might have made an agreement with it.
Okay.
I'm not really sure, but I don't know who it is, what it is. Victor pulled out his big book of bounties. I'm amazed he has one, to be honest with you.
That's actually a interesting story. We can talk about it later, though.
And we found it, and apparently this being, which I don't know its name yet, is responsible for 3 village massacres and draining the life of several Arcanum cards, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure it's fine.
Oh.
Are you less confused and more mad?
I'm not mad. I promised I... So you sent a message to this being that helped you during the Night of 1,000 Stars, I think it was?
The Night of Shifting Stars.
Night of Shifting Stars.
Mm-hmm.
And it gave you a bit of its power for an agreement, like a pact of sorts.
Maybe.
I've heard of this kind of magical deal before. Warlocks tend to do this kind of stuff.
You could say I have a tiny dip in Warlock.
I have seen you cast some spells that I think only come from Warlocks.
Mm-hmm.
You summoned... And then you just made another deal with it.
I didn't make a deal. It's, well, kind of.
You wants something from it, and it wants something from you. And
Yes,
you
but I
agreed.
don't have to uphold my end of the deal. It's not like...
Did
It's not like... It's like, if I don't do it, then I just don't know its name.
But it won't hurt you. Do you know?
I mean, it did hurt me.
Right. First of all, are you okay? Do you need a healing potion or some hot soup, maybe?
Fix it with soup.
I mean, you offered prune juice before, and that sounds a little bit comforting. Maybe a little bit of that.
I
But
actually went and got some. I have like a decanter of it.
Decanter of endless prune juice. Geyser! Alright.
It's gonna be more of the alchemy jug, right?
Yep.
Alchemy jug of prune juice.
Thank you. You see, my
got
stomach
it from
feels a
Baba.
bit in knots right now, and prune juice is infamous for helping you poop.
Right here, and I'll like as you're going through your speed. I'm like, just sip this while we talk.
Thank you. Continue. What you were saying.
So, you made a deal, but you don't know if not keeping up your end of the bargain will cause this thing or creature to come after you.
I'm like
And hurt you again?
99% positive it wouldn't. It was like, I said, I want to know your name. And it was like, what are you going to give me? And I was like, what do you want? And it was like, I want 3 souls. And if you do that, I will give you my name. And
And why do you want its name again?
so I know what I'm up against.
Well, that's a good thing. Finding out who your enemies could be.
Exactly.
And Thava mentioned this same entity or something different.
Something different. I mean, she didn't give me specifics on the being that, at least not that my notes indicate. She just could sense the darkness about me, something like that.
Okay.
That's all I know.
And well, is Victor okay as well?
You hear a
said
distant rumble of thunder. That's about the time I say Zolos.
Yeah.
Did he?
say
No.
Yeah, no. I like how Fred's given Victor the benefit of the doubt. Walt's like, hey, definitely.
Absolutely did.
100%.
okay.
He's fine. Victor's fine. But he didn't want to come in here with me because he was afraid of getting in trouble.
Well,
Do I get brownie points for being brave enough?
yes, you do.
Yes.
Good job. Have some more prune juice.
Thank you.
And here's a cookie.
Yes.
It was in the room when I got here. I don't know how old it is. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's
I
an
know.
opulent palace.
It's
They're probably pretty fresh.
They don't put mints on the pillow. They put full cookies on the pillow.
Sounds
I
very
would love a
greasy.
hotel that would like,
Except for
like
you got all the
lovingly
crumbs.
yeah, but you like put a little.
They put a smaller pillow with a cookie on it.
Yeah,
they
sure.
say like make sure to dump the crumbs.
Hey, hey.
There's plenty of like extra towels
You
in
come
those
in
rooms all the
and
time.
it's a rat in a chef hat, and he's just like,
Oh, yes.
he like walks away with the crumbs and
And there's a human marionetting him.
Yes.
It's a reverse.
Yeah, it's reverse.
It's a reverse Ratatouille.
Yeah, I like that.
it's Raccoonitude.
Yeah.
Or whatever from the
Rakakuni.
Rakakuni.
Yep.
And what's ratatouille backwards?
Don't even try.
Do it.
Continue with your conversation, please.
You'll look it up.
Wow.
Anywho's, what do you think? Should I get the souls? I mean, I'm planning on killing a few people. I know you're against that.
Who
Dragons?
Who are you planning on killing?
Like a dragon, obviously.
Okay. Yeah, we agreed on that actually.
Yeah, so I feel like I could collect one of their souls.
Sorry.
Eliotetar.
Eliotetar.
Now,
Ratatouille backwards.
Yes.
do you think
My father did away. Someone else, I'm sure.
now do you think that once you know this creature's name, that they will leave you alone, or do you think that they will want more?
I don't know. See, here's the thing. Remember when Victor was in court, and they were like, "Don't give the Fae your name." I just feel like maybe it will be some power over it.
If it follows those rules, yes.
Well, I'm just saying that this, and she pulls out her little thorn piercer.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, and she indicates like the little rune or whatever, the marking on it. I'm just saying, maybe I might have some power because of who I come from.
Okay. Well, what I think is, if you feel comfortable doing this, collecting those souls, I'll be right there with you. I won't actively be trying to kill something, but if it happens, we do get into a lot of trouble. So, if you want to get this creature's name, we can probably find out more about it
About
once we
the
know
time
that.
he says to get into trouble, you start hearing Victor running down the hallway say, "Can someone get me a bucket of water?"
Thank you,
I'm
Bolt.
sure he's fine. He's probably just really thirsty. He does that at night sometimes.
A bucket
He
of
forgets
water.
to drink. He just runs downstairs. Kilomex, I need a bucket of water.
I've done that before. You wake up in the middle of the night, you're like, parched.
John tried to offer him a bucket of water one time, but it was
Kind of sudsy.
It was a mop. Yeah, it was a mop bucket. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's after swapping the poop deck, so.
Okay.
So, if you want to do this, then getting their name might be a good idea. However, if this entity or being tries to harm you further before your deal is done, please let me know. Do whatever we can. We'll find someone who is really knowledgeable about the dealings with entities such as these, and see if we can get some assistance. I don't know much about warlocks and their packs, but I'm sure
Neither
we can
do
find.
I.
I'm sure we can find someone that does.
Very well. Thank you.
Don't ever worry about telling me stuff like this. We're a team, and I consider you and Victor basically family.
Like your children?
More like second cousins.
Because I've never had a good relationship with my father.
What have I got myself into?
Just the horrible realization.
Thank you. Dad, I mean Bolt.
There. I'm like gonna pat your shoulder like from afar. Well, I think it's about time for our dinner. Let's go find out what Victor was yelling about.
Okay. Victor?
Yeah, you open the door and Victor is running back with a
With
giant
the bucket.
Yeah.
Be right back! And I'm in my full
everything
liveries.
okay?
I go back in the room and just. But the thing that's funny is that I left the flame on, so as I'm running down the hallway, if there's anything flammable in the hallway, it's
there's-
probably.
I love it.
There's definitely like tapestries and stuff that are
Absolutely love it.
catching fire as well.
Listen, I got my room under control. You guys handle out here.
And I think with that, we're going to end tonight's episode. Everyone's getting ready for the banquet, putting out fires, starting some new fires, I might say.
Yeah.
But thank you everybody so much for watching. It was a fun episode tonight. I really enjoyed it. Inspiration all around if you don't have it. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, Toll the Dead, so that you too can look in the mirror and see a dark figure waiting for you. And join our Patreon, where
Say its name 3 times and
Yep.
it'll show up.
Ring that bell.
maybe we'll make its name available on Patreon. Bring me $5.
Actually, if you say my name 3 times in the mirror.
Torrey will appear in the Patreon chat to talk to you.
Yes.
Yep, and ask you for $5 or about $3.50, whichever one. $3.50. Yeah, $3.50. But thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful evening.
No. Oh, crap.